last 11 years, mostly.
During that intervention, people they lost local opportunity, as I've been telling. The tourists then fled from coming.
The reason that I wanted to make a documentary about this small beach community in Sierra Leone was that when I first got to Lakka in 2006, it was 4 years after the war, and I met a community that once thrived on tourism in the 80s and 90s, but people didn't understand why tourism hadn't come back to their village yet. Now the war was over. I mean, for them it was obvious, we live in a beautiful place with a lot of tourist potential. You know, where are the tourists? It's peaceful now. Well, I never saw Sierra Leone or Lakka as a tourist destination. I mean, their country and that place for me was completely filled with imagery of war, of the imagery that I saw through the media in the 90s. And I realized that that whole country had a stigma of war, but somehow that stigma didn't match with the reality that I saw in Sierra Leone and in Lakka when I was there on an annual basis from 2006 onwards. And that's when I decided to portray this village in a post-conflict situation in which people are waiting for the tourists to come back while the tourists have no idea what they're missing out on. And through this portrait, I wanted to do just to Sierra Leone and to the people in this community, and to change this stigma of war. I think the biggest challenge in making this documentary was the trust that needed to be built between me and the protagonists of the film. You know, to create the basis on which this film could be made. I really wanted to get really close to people, and obviously, you know, to be with a camera so close to people needs a lot of trust.
Like for me, my own thinking, but you see. I just see this now way for we will get something for it, because there's a value there in our water past the dry land. But me, I don't know that because I not sabi water.
Well, what I wanted to communicate with this documentary is many things, but I think the most important thing is the beauty of the country and of the people, to counter the image of war with an image of how it is today, of beauty and strength and hope, of power, empowerment, and I think many other messages are embedded in the voices of the characters that are in the film. For example, Mohammed, when he says that a healthy family is the cornerstone of a healthy society. I think that's a very powerful message. Also, Aminata saying that because of the war, a lot of Sierra Leoneans don't dare to come back to their own country. I think this is a message that needs to be sent into the world for Sierra Leoneans abroad to hear, because it's their influence and their effort also that will really rebuild the economy and the country to become healthy again. But I think the most important message is to show Sierra Leone as really how it is today, with an eye on the future instead of an eye on the past. I actually think there's quite a bit that I learned from Sierra Leoneans, and that well, I put many of those things in the film because I think many people could learn from their wisdom. For example, the amount of patience that people have in Lakka and in Sierra Leone, like Isaac the fisherman is saying at the end. You need an incredible amount of patience in order to overcome a post-war situation, and yeah, and people do have that in Lakka and in Sierra Leone.